Struggle is not something to run from, it is something to embrace. Every challenge you face in life is secretly an opportunity for growth. Imagine a seed buried deep in the soil. At first, it is trapped in darkness, surrounded by pressure, struggling to break through the ground. But without that struggle, the seed would never transform into a plant. Without resistance, there is no breakthrough. In the same way, your struggles are the soil in which your potential grows. When life gets tough, it is not punishing you. It is preparing you. The sleepless nights, the failures, the rejections, the setbacks, all of these experiences are shaping you into someone stronger than you were yesterday. They are forcing you to think differently, to push harder, and to discover a level of strength you didn't even know you had. Growth never happens in comfort. Comfort keeps you the same, but struggle transforms you. Think about going to the gym. Your muscles only grow when they are stretched, when they are challenged, and when they are pushed beyond their limit. Without struggle, they stay weak. Your mind and spirit work in exactly the same way. The more challenges you face, the more you are stretched, and the more powerful you become. Struggle is not a sign of weakness. It is the training ground for strength. Every obstacle you face carries with it a lesson, and every lesson adds to your wisdom. You might not see it while you are in the middle of the storm, but later you realize that the very struggle you hated was the same struggle that changed you forever. It refined your mindset, built your endurance, and expanded your capacity for greatness. Struggle is growth, and growth is the path to becoming everything you were meant to be. Pressure is something we often fear, but in truth, it is one of life's greatest tools for transformation. Just like a diamond is created under immense pressure and heat, human beings also discover their true strength when life presses them the hardest. Without pressure, coal remains coal, but with pressure it becomes something rare, valuable, and unbreakable. The same principle applies to us. Without struggles we remain ordinary, with them we rise to extraordinary. When life applies pressure, through failures, heartbreaks, financial struggles, or rejection, it may feel unbearable at first. It feels as though the world is closing in on you, as if the weight is too heavy to carry. But that weight is not meant to crush you. It is meant to shape you. Pressure forces you to dig deep, to find solutions, to discover a power within yourself that you never knew existed. Without it, you would never explore your limits, and without exploring your limits, you would never expand your potential. Think about the strongest people you know or admire. They did not become strong by living an easy life. They became strong because they carried burdens, endured losses, and faced difficulties that pushed them to the edge. The very pressure that others may have run away from is what shaped them into leaders, champions, and inspirations. Pressure builds endurance, and endurance builds greatness. So when you feel life pressing down on you, remember, it is not breaking you, it is building you. It is not the easy days that make you tough. It is the hard days that sharpen your spirit. Just like fire refines gold, pressure refines the human soul. The more you face it, the stronger you become, and with every test, your resilience grows. Strength is never given freely. It is forged under pressure. Pain is one of life's greatest teachers, and though it is uncomfortable, it has the power to build something inside us that nothing else can encourage. Every time you go through pain and survive it, you come out stronger, wiser, and braver. Pain strips away illusions, exposes your weaknesses, and forces you to face reality head-on. And in that process, it forges a strength of character and a level of courage that cannot be taught in comfort. Think about a soldier on the battlefield. The first time he faces danger, fear overwhelms him. But after surviving battles, enduring wounds, and pushing through pain, he learns to stand firm even when fear surrounds him. He becomes courageous because he has experienced pain and knows he can overcome it. The same principle applies to all of us. Without pain, we would never discover our inner bravery. Pain also builds courage by teaching you to endure. Every heartbreak, every failure, every loss becomes a test of how much you can handle, and the more pain you endure, the more fearless you become. You start to realize that pain is temporary, but the strength you gain from it lasts forever. It transforms fear into resilience and weakness into determination. Look at the scars on your life. The times you felt broken, rejected, or lost. At the time, it may have felt unbearable. But today, those scars are reminders that you survived, that you endured, and that you are stronger than the pain that once tried to defeat you. Those scars are not signs of weakness. They are badges of courage. Courage is not the absence of fear. It is the decision to keep moving forward despite the fear. And pain is the training ground where this courage is built. The more you face it, the less power it has over you. Pain may hurt, but it also prepares you for battles you never thought you could fight, and victories you never thought you could win. Failure is often seen as the end, but in reality, it is only the beginning of wisdom. Every failure carries within it a lesson that success could never teach. Success may feel good, but it rarely pushes you to grow. Failure, on the other hand, forces you to reflect, to adapt, and to rise stronger than before. It teaches you humility, resilience, and the importance of persistence. Think of Thomas Edison, who famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." Each failure brought him closer to the invention of the light bulb. Imagine if he had quit after 100 failures, or even after 1,000. The world would have been deprived of one of the greatest inventions in history. What carried him through was not instant success, but the lessons his failures taught him. Failure is not your enemy, it is your mentor. It shows you what doesn't work, what needs improvement, and where your weaknesses lie. It points out blind spots you could not see otherwise. Every rejection, every setback, every no you receive is guiding you toward a better path. Without failure, you risk becoming overconfident, careless, or stagnant. With failure, you gain clarity, wisdom, and strength. History's greatest achievers, whether athletes, scientists, or leaders, did not rise because they never failed. They rose because they failed more times than others, but each time they used failure as fuel for growth. Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player of all time, once said, "I have failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed." Failure does not define you unless you let it. What defines you is how you respond to it. If you give up, failure becomes defeat. But if you learn from it, failure becomes a stepping stone to greatness. It is not the opposite of success. It is part of the journey to success. And the more you fail, the more prepared you become for the day when success finally arrives. True character is not built in comfort. It is built in the fire of struggle. Easy days do not test you, but hard days shape you. Struggle forces you to develop patience when things don't happen quickly. It teaches you discipline when you must keep going despite the urge to quit. It builds humility because you learn that nothing worth having comes without effort. And it gives you empathy because once you have carried heavy burdens, you begin to understand the weight others are carrying too. Think of a tree standing tall in the middle of a storm. The wind bends it, the rain pounds it, and sometimes branches break. But each storm forces the roots to grow deeper into the ground. Without storms, the tree would remain weak and shallow. Human beings are the same. Without struggles, our root, our values, our strength, our character, would never grow deep. The storms of life may shake us, but they also strengthen the foundation of who we are. Struggle reveals your true self. When everything is easy, anyone can smile, stay kind, and appear strong. But when you are tested, when you face rejection, loss, or failure, that is when your real character is revealed. Do you give up, or do you keep fighting? Do you become bitter, or do you remain hopeful? Do you let pain harden your heart, or do you let it teach you compassion? The answers to these questions define your character. Greatness is not about talent alone, it is about character. Talent may open doors, but character keeps them open, and character is born from struggle. Every obstacle you face, every difficulty you endure, every challenge you overcome is like a hammer shaping you into something stronger, wiser, and unbreakable. Struggle doesn't just test your character, it creates it. Behind every story of greatness, there is always a story of struggle. No hero, no leader, no champion has ever risen without first walking through the fire of hardship. Struggle is what makes the story inspiring. It is the very ingredient that transforms an ordinary journey into an extraordinary one. If success came easily, there would be nothing remarkable about it. What makes victory powerful is the battle it took to achieve it. Look at history. Abraham Lincoln failed in business, lost multiple elections, and faced countless personal struggles before becoming one of the greatest presidents of the United States. Oprah Winfrey grew up in poverty, faced rejection after rejection, and endured hardships before becoming one of the most influential women in the world. Even athletes like Michael Jordan were once doubted, cut from teams, and told they weren't good enough. Yet they turned their struggles into the fuel that built their legacies. Stories without struggle are forgettable. But stories built on perseverance, resilience, and determination live on forever. When people hear about your struggles, they don't just see your achievements. They see your strength, your endurance, and your refusal to quit. That's what inspires them. Struggles are the chapters in your life that make your story worth telling. Your own story is no different. The challenges you face today may feel overwhelming, but one day they will become the very moments that define you. You will look back and realize that the pain, the failures, and the sacrifices were not in vain. They were the foundation of your success. Every great story has struggle because it is the struggle that makes the victory meaningful. The greatest gift of struggle is that it makes you unstoppable. Once you have been through storms, you no longer fear the rain. Once you have climbed mountains, new ones don't intimidate you. Struggle gives you a resilience that nothing else can provide. It toughens your spirit, sharpens your focus, and builds a mindset that refuses to quit. When you've endured pain, rejection, and failure but kept moving forward, you become unshakable. Think about it. Every challenge you face and overcome adds another layer of strength to your character. Each time life tries to knock you down and you rise again, you prove to yourself that you cannot be broken. And once you realize that you can survive the worst, nothing in this world can stop you. Struggle doesn't just make you strong, it makes you fearless in the pursuit of your dreams. An unstoppable person is not someone who never struggles. They are someone who has struggled so much that struggle no longer controls them. They have learned that obstacles are not roadblocks but stepping stones. They understand that setbacks are not permanent. They are setups for comebacks. Struggle turns hesitation into determination and fear into fuel. When you embrace struggle instead of running from it, you unlock a power within yourself that cannot be defeated. Life's challenges will continue to come, but you will face them with confidence and courage. You become unstoppable, not because life is easy, but because you have already survived the hardest battles and come out stronger. Struggle makes you unstoppable, and unstoppable people achieve greatness. So remember this. Your struggles are not meant to break you, they are meant to build you. Every challenge, every setback, every moment of pain is preparing you for something greater. Struggle creates growth, it shapes your character, it teaches you lessons, and it makes you unstoppable. The next time life knocks you down, don't see it as defeat, see it as preparation. Stand tall, push forward, and remind yourself that diamonds are born under pressure, gold is refined by fire, and legends are shaped by struggle. Embrace your struggles, because one day you will look back and realize they were the very steps that led you to your greatness.